Thank you for joining me for the Talking Tarot episode of The Power of Deities. Here we have three elements of energy: a neomagnet, a battery, and a wire. Clearly we know what this is because we all went to science. So we see the power of energy and how it is invoked. But indeed, if you remove the magnet, wire, and the battery becomes powerless. Yet the magnet itself still has the power to either repel or attract. Peace, what's up, y'all? To all my seers out there, it's your girl Nairi Sanchez, aka Drop the Mic with Mocha, psychic medium, intuitive tarot, and oracle reader. Also, the host and creator of yours truly, the Talking Tarot Show. So I'm here today to talk about the powerful effects of deities. Right? So y'all gonna see me look away from him time to time because I'm gonna be looking at my notes and stuff like that. I'm harnessing my energies. That's all I'm doing. Go do us a tarot pull to bring in some energy and see what direction we're gonna go in today for the powerful effects of deities, which we all know what deities are. These are things that we put faith in to invoke our energy and our power into, and thus they become real to us as gods or goddesses or whatever our culture may be at that particular time or moment in time in history or life, right? So what we're going to do now is I'm going to use my everyday witch deck to bring in a tarot energy, see what's the energy. So I'm going to call in the energy, y'all. So come on in with me. Sacred ancestors, gods and cosmos, calling in a quantum energy for our topic today, the powerful effects of deities by the power of the universe, to give us a direction and harness the energies of this topic for those that are going to look and tap in and hear the message by the power of the universe. Give us clarity and direction of which way we're going to go in our conversation for the power of deities, the powerful effects of deities, the power of the universe. Give us clarity and direction. Let's see what we got. We have the Knight of Pentacles, we have the Knight of Cups, and we also have a Page of Cups. And on the top of the deck is the Two of Swords, and on the bottom of the deck is the Six of Wands. Okay, so what I get from this energy right here is a few different things. Okay, first of all, with the Knight of Pentacles, I feel like this is definitely talking about how we harness or how we repel or attract energy. The Knight of Pentacles, we're talking about pentacles. So we know that pentacles is, let's just say it's like coins or what they call denarius. Okay, we know that money harnesses a sort of energy to it, correctly? Okay, so what I'm picking up from this is a lot of us were given an energy as we were growing up, right? So a lot of us have become firmly grounded in that energy. A lot of us have become very steadfast in that energy. The Knight of Pentacles is a very repetitious kind of energy. You know what I'm saying? But it's very stable. So a lot of us have become very stable in certain things that we've been taught as we got older. It's become a grounding energy for us. You know, we base our lives on it, the way we think, the way that we eat, the way that we talk, the people we deal with, the places that we work at, the where we live. It bases a value and a foundation. So the Knight of Pentacles is definitely a energy that we've harnessed as we were growing, as we grew up with the Knight of Pentacles energy. A lot of us 30, 40, 50, 60 years into the game. The Knight of Pentacles is a long-term foundation that we have. So there you have somebody like me coming along saying, yo, that coin is fugazi. And it's like, stop the music. What do you mean? That can be difficult for a lot of people because we've been firmly established in how we see things, how we grasp things, you know, how we digest things, how we give and take information. You know, this is about the mind. Any two times you're talking about deities, religion, beliefs, all of that starts with the mind. Okay, so a lot of people are very firmly established with their belief systems. I used to be one of them. Okay, but I've come out of that now because now you have the Knight of Cups. Now the Knight of Cups is a little bit different from the from the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is solid. The Knight of Cups on the other end is not dependable because it's just water. You know what I'm saying? It's not solid. So a lot of us have come to understand that what we thought was solid ground, was a solid, stable foundation, was very unstable, very not flexible. It was definitely a situation that was not firmly grounded like we thought as we got older. A lot of us are not even coming out of these stages of what we've been taught and given as a firm foundation of life until we were older. So it's like, well, wait a minute. That's this Page of Cups energy. I have to unlearn and relearn all over again. It's almost like starting over from kindergarten as an adult. And this is what these two energies represent. From you got the Knight of Pentacles to the Knight of Cups. So that's not always a comfortable place for people to be when you're talking about what makes your life grounded. What are you establishing your walk of life on? What are you establishing your morals and your values on? What type of value do you place on your life? That's this Knight of Pentacles energy. A lot of us, have to become so repetitious and steadfast in our routine. The Knight of Pentacles is a routine energy. You know what time the Knight of Pentacles is getting up and leaving and coming home. You know what time the Knight of Pentacles is going to get up and cook breakfast. Because this is what the Knight of Pentacles been doing for 30, 40, 50, 60 years. So a lot of us get grounded in these things that we were taught, this foundation. But a lot of us have learned to accept that foundation wasn't as solid as we thought. So what do? We start over. We go back and say, well, wait a minute. What's wrong with my belief system? Why is, this that way or that this way? And nobody wants to answer those questions. So a lot of us in our 30s, 40s, and 50s, you know what we're doing? We in this Page of Cups energy. We starting over from the beginning. We like, all right, let's take this. Let's open up this Bible and go back to page 1 of Genesis and read this thing real slow all the way to the end of Revelation. Some of us are actually doing that. Some of us are actually searching for what we missed all these years, just to get to a place to where something ain't right. Something ain't standing firm with us no more. Something ain't clicking. Something ain't standing. Something don't have a backbone. That's this Page of Cups energies. Okay, so now you have the Knight of Wands energy. A lot of us are, some of us are proud to be in the energy of finally coming out of a lot of these stuck ways. A lot of this, because the Knight of Pentacles, this is, when I tell you the Knight of Pentacles is a slow moving energy, this is talking about you still living thinking how your grandparents, your great grandparents, your parents, you still trying to pass this old fashioned down to the next generation and the next generation and the next generation. And this energy is saying no, because it's not gonna last. You're gonna pass this energy down to a generation that's gonna drop the ball, because that's not what's reality. That's not gonna be their reality. Their reality is gonna be something completely different. Something that you might think, has no foundation. But the truth is, it does. The truth is, the Six of Wands is all about victory. That means you're coming out on top of something. You conquered something. So we're going into a different age now. All right. This cup holder is about this is water energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy. This grounding energy is Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus energy. All right. So right now what we have out here is water and earth energy. But we also got fire energy. And fire energy is all about the motivation to move and make things happen, to take action on things. So a lot of us are sitting down our stubborn ways. And you know what we're doing? We're admitting to ourselves that, you know what, maybe I've been wrong all these years. So let me go figure out what's right. What's what? Let me go back. Some of us are not afraid to start over and get to the bottom of things and get to where we now have everything that we feel in our lives is now, we got the answers. We figured this shit out. You know what I'm saying? It ain't what we thought it was. Now we're to a point to where we're harnessing powerful energy within ourselves. Now we're breaking out of a lot of ways and we're able to move on to victory within our own selves. So now, I'm sure y'all saw the battery that I put in a video as I started to come on with the battery. Basically, that's the first law of thermodynamics. We all know that energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transferable. So with the neo magnet, a battery and a wire, you can create energy. Y'all saw that. Okay, so the battery itself has no power. The wire has no power. It is the magnet that pulls the juice from these elements and make them alive or extract energy into these elements. Okay, the magnet itself is a kinetic force field that can either repel or attract. In the same fashion, which this would be the magnet, right? The magnet. You either going to repel or you want to attract. Okay, so in the same way, in the same fashion, we are magnets. Okay, because we invoke energy. We can invoke our magnetic fields into any deity. When we do that, that means we transfer our own energy into it to create its existence. The gods of ancient Kemet, Heru, Osiris, Anubis, and so forth existed because the energy of our ancestors, the energy they provoked into them. They used the spiritual aspects of the animal kingdom to describe the energies of the cosmos, meaning the planets and the universal powers of the macrocosm. Now, the macrocosms is the higher spiritual powers, the higher spiritual realms, okay? These energies were in alignment from the perspectives of our ancestors within the lower planes of the microcosms, which is us here on planet in the physical, on the planet in the physical form, called the lower spiritual powers. But it's all connecting. There is no one without the other. In the honor of the Kananga symbolism, so is above is below. So all symbolisms are forms of expressions that represents energy within every physical individual. Okay. For instance, you ever seen a bull charge at the color red? That's because there's an energy that's invoking that into that animal. Okay. They tell you certain colors trigger or certain sounds of music trigger certain things within a person's brain that triggers certain reactions and stuff like that. Like in school, they use certain colors. With restaurants, when they're advertising, they use certain colors that's going to make you hungry. They use certain colors that's going to make you thirsty. They use certain colors that's going to make, you know what I'm saying? These are all forms of energy that every individual, place, person, or thing, it shapes our reality every day. Okay, and so all of these things embodies energies and frequencies that we invoke into our own energies daily, which brings these meanings to life, right? So when we think about Buddhism, what's the first thing you think of? Well, for me, it's meditation and getting in tune with one's own frequency. Why is that the first thing that comes to mind for me? Well, because that's the energy that Buddhism invokes. It doesn't invoke a god or a deity, but it invokes self-mastery. So unlike Christianity and other religions that falls up under its umbrella suggests that a God, supreme being, and deities as its higher powers to worship, that thus incites people to invoke their energy into it by putting faith into it, talking to it, praying to it, and acknowledging its presence within your everyday wake of life. When making decisions, picking and choosing friends, mates, careers, how you dress, even down to the food you eat or don't eat. These religions come with amulets, like crosses, pictures of their deities that encourage people to wear this stuff as jewelry because there's a frequency connected to it. They encourage you to have these pictures in your house, in your cars, because it has a frequency to it. Okay, and when you wear these things in your home, they want you to wear them in your cars. They put them in the churches. Why? Because there's a frequency to it. It sends messages to your brain. All right. So with these kinds of energies being invoked by millions of people on the planet, they become real to us. And in fact, we know they're not real people. Most of us know they're not real people. Okay. But they're mentally incapacitated to the masses as living people, just like you and I. However, once we remove the neomagnet from the battery, there's no longer any energy being exchanged. So once we remove the wire, the wire has no power. The battery, there's nothing there to inflict force and power into any of this without the magnet, right? So once we stop or no longer put our energy into these gods and deities, you know what happens? They cease to exist or exercise any power in our lives. Okay, for one, there's people that come to me still and they think that they can scare me with their religious talk because they're still stuck in this Knight of Pentacles energy. But I've been in this Knight of Pentacles energy. I've been in this Knight of Cups energy, because I've got to a place where I got emotional and had to accept that this stuff wasn't what I thought it was. Okay? Guess what? I've been in this energy too, the Page of Cups energy. I'm still in this Page of Cups energy. But I've allowed myself to not allow my pride and my ego to get in the way of thinking that just because my parents or grandparents lived that way, that it was just perfect for me because they did it. No. That's this Knight of Pentacles energy. See, I don't need to be dedicated and loyal to somebody else's way of doing things, especially if it's not working for me. Clearly, it wasn't working for me. All right, so I put that down, and I went through this Knight of Cups energy. I went through trying to figure out what was what. I was emotional. This Knight of Cups energy is definitely about emotions. Okay, but what do emotions do? They go up, they go down, they fluctuate, and everybody's emotions do it. That's why they tell you don't trust your feelings. Trust your intellect. Don't trust your feelings. Okay, because you can't always do that. Okay. So anyway, I'm in this Page of Cups energy because I had to unlearn and relearn every damn thing. But since I've allowed myself to be in this Page of Cups energy, now I'm in this Six of Wands energy. I feel much more courageous about myself. I feel a lot more motivated about myself. I'm feeling like my backbone is much stronger within myself since I've allowed myself to go through these different stages just to get to taking action now with this Six of Wands energy. Now I'm not afraid to step out in front of the crowd and go to war, you know, and because I ain't with this no more. I ain't with this Knight of Pentacles no more. I ain't with it. You can't come to me and you know how they used to say, you can't come to me and tell me it's raining outside while you pissing in my face. You see, you can't do this willy lump stuff to me no more. And a lot of people are stuck in this willy lump energy because it's comfortable to them. It feels solid into them because it's what they've been doing. It's a routine. This says, yeah, but we're gonna break that habit with this Knight of Cups energy, because that ain't what it is. We're gonna take you back to kindergarten and start you all over again, so that you can realize that these deities and this stuff that you're thinking and believing is not for certain. None of this stuff is real. It's not real. Okay. Once you realize that, then you'll start taking action to do things a lot different in your life that will bring you a lot more success, happiness, peace, and abundance to yourself. Because you know why? You'll stop waiting on something else to come into your life and make things happen. And you'll realize that you got the power to do all of that yourself. So you'll start invoking that power and that energy into yourself instead of giving it to some sort of deity or foundation that you were raised on as routine. You'll come out of that energy and you'll accept the fact that, nah, that's not solid. It's not solid. And in fact, once you go back to the beginning of all of this and get to the bottom of it, you realize it ain't even real. The only thing that's real is what you do. Is the power that you use to bring what it is that you would like to desire into your own life. So the bottom line, the Virgin Mary and Jesus, we know these are mythical stories told time and time again, with different cultures, with different origins, starting from ancient Kemet. The fact is, Jesus and all man-made gods are myths that we have been taught to invoke our energy into, or kinetic forces into. And once we do that, these deity energies become active, which makes them real to us. So now there are people who believe that the 12 tribes of Israel are actual tribes of people according to their culture, right? So for centuries, people have invoked energy into this belief. So let's get into that, right? The Bible, Abraham was promised a mighty seed, which through his son Jacob would have 12 sons by 4 different women. Joseph had 12 brothers. Jesus had 12 disciples. The number 12 is significant esoterically, describing the 12 zodiac signs. And the number 4 represents the 4 women, represents the 4 seasons: winter, spring, summer, fall. Okay. Each set of 3 disciples represents all 4 seasons, all representing things that are astronomical. How does this tie into deities? Because people who feel like they belong to these tribes all worship gods who they think belong to these tribes. For instance, the Black Israelites who say they're from the tribe of Judah, Yahweh or Yahuwah is their God. They believe that Jesus' real name is Yeshua, which still only translates to Joshua in modern languages, who took leadership and possession of the promised land of Canaan after the death of Moses. Yet, the only thing the tribe of Judah represents is a tribe of people born under the zodiac sign of Leo. Just that simple. It has absolutely nothing to do with a savior, a god, or a deity. A physical tribe of people, only an energetic tribe of people who embody these energies as a celestial or zodiacal or astrological sun sign, because we are celestial beings from a celestial realm. So with all this being said, can you see why people lose their senses believing in this stuff and why it causes so much confusion and division? Well, for one, the teaching of this stuff is all over the place. It has everybody believing something different because it's meant to confuse people. For instance, each of these astrological tribes also represents your physical body parts and can also be affected by certain times of the moon phase. For instance, Leo represents the heart, spine, and upper back. Cancer rules the chest, the stomach, and the womb and breast. Gemini rules the throat, lungs, breath. That's why the birth natal chart is true. That's your true birth certificate. So if people would rather go to therapists thinking that something is off about them instead of finding an astrologist who can help them discover themselves and balance out and rewire the retardation we've been taught about life. I will get off into this on the next episode in part 2 of the powerful effects of deities on the next Talking Tarot with the Ashley's Grounding team, Autumn El Rabe and Ashley's Grounding. Let me tell y'all something. If you need a birth natal chart reading, which I encourage everybody to get one, you can do a compatibility reading and tell you're compatible with somebody. But get with Autumn and get that birth natal chart reading. And stay tuned for the next Talking Tarot because he will be joining us to talk more about the astrological signs and the effects of deities and the power we invoke into them. Stay tuned for part 2 of the next Talking Tarot. Peace.